Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Either they have to forgo work, or a lot of times they will beg, borrow, or steal to find childcare for their children.
The same childcare shortage being felt across the nation exists here in the Valley. Some parents say they're signing up and paying for daycare long before their baby's even born.
That's to make sure they get a spot when the event happens. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer takes us to Lakes Country, where some community leaders are fighting to combat this crisis.
If there's no services that can provide the support to young families are leaving those communities.
9 daycares in Becker County alone are closing their doors. And in Otter Tail County, the situation is the same. In the past couple of years, about 20 have shut down. And it's no secret this childcare shortage is taking a toll on these rural communities. In fact, the problem has become so bad, some parents are quitting their jobs to take care of their kids, or they're leaving town.
They're not being able to find workers because they can't come to work because they don't have childcare.
So why are these daycare centers closing down? Well, because they can't find people who want to work there.
The wages for early childhood teachers is quite low.
Take Mary Rotter, for example. She's the owner at Lakers Prep, a child care center in Detroit Lakes. She says while she's been fortunate when it comes to finding staff, she knows there's a statewide shortage. And she tells us she would like to pay her employees more, but she says regulations can be costly.
We spend thousands and thousands of dollars every year on just training our staff, and which, that money could be going in their pockets.
And everyone we spoke with says this is not just a Minnesota crisis. Meet Kristen Burbank. She's the owner of a yoga studio in Fargo that has classes for pregnant moms. And she says she hears expecting moms talk about this problem all the time. She even admits she's experienced this shortage firsthand.
We were on, I think, 6 waiting lists. Many of them I never actually heard back from, and then actually ended up deciding to go to a nanny because we couldn't get in anywhere.
So what's the answer to fix it? Well, state agencies, nonprofits, and businesses near Otter Tail County are working on a collaborative effort, and they'll be using vacant rooms from the county's building for childcare. But they do admit there's no magic here that would quickly fix this ongoing crisis. Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
These childcare options are set to be available by the end of this year. And if you're expecting a child soon, looking for daycare options, it's encouraged that you start searching immediately. Finding childcare providers for infants is especially difficult.
New developments tonight in a story we've been following for you. 5 students from Richland 44 School have been charged with 10 felony counts and another 24 misdemeanors after alleged hazing and sexual assault incidents. Police say numerous interviews have been held with the students involved in the alleged offenses that happened in the boys' locker room. We previously reported to you that during the incidents, the lights were supposedly turned off and the victim held down and violated. The charges include hazing, sexual assault, felonious restraint, and terrorizing. Police say no females were identified as victims or suspects in this investigation. If you wish to read Valley News Live's past coverage on this, click on this story at valleynewslive.com.
A small fire caused a bit of a headache for residents at the Fargo high-rise. It happened on the 2nd floor earlier today. Smoke was reported around 2:45. A fireman on scene told us it was a small kitchen fire and sprinklers quickly put it out. Damage was believed to be minor.
Today's weather is downright nasty, a far cry from yesterday's heartwarming conditions. Hutch is here with a look at tonight's forecast.
Our cold north winds continue into the evening, and in fact, some dangerous wind chills expected across the valley as any snowy weather does exit to the south. Winds still gusting for 20 miles per hour, and the coldest of the temperatures up north means a wind chill advisory has been posted there for wind chills to 30 Falls Lake along Highway 2 all the way out to Bemidji and beyond. Fargo, temperatures slipping down to just below 0 as we head into the overnight hours. The wind will be pretty persistent, 10 to 20 per hour, and in Grand Forks will be below 0 as we go through the majority of our evening hours, and wind chilly. A little bit of a warm up in the forecast. We'll talk about that, a chance of snow as well, and well, more cold. I'll have all the details in a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Hutch.
Yep.
And make sure you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app so you can keep up with the weather anytime, anywhere. You'll get the latest forecasts and conditions so that you can plan your day. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free.
All signs point to Congressman Kevin Cramer running for the U.S. Senate seat currently held by Heidi Heitkamp. A news conference has been scheduled for late tomorrow afternoon in Bismarck, where Cramer is expected to formally announce that he's in. Republicans currently hold a 51-49 U.S. Senate majority. Valley News Live's Chris Berg will be in Bismarck tomorrow. Will provide us with coverage of Cramer's announcement.
The president of UND could potentially be heading south. Mark Kennedy is one of 8 semifinalists for president at the University of Central Florida. Central Florida officials say a 15-member search committee will interview the candidates on February 22nd and 23rd. The committee plans to bring 3 to 5 finalists back to the campus. Kennedy says he and his wife are not anxious to leave North Dakota, and he remains focused on his duties at the Grand Forks School. The current president at Central Florida is retiring in June.
2 people are recovering after being hit by a car in Detroit Lakes. Police say the 2 were found on Highway 10 near the downtown train depot just past 8:30 last night. The injured are 54-year-old Susan Holmer and 67-year-old Stephen Lorenzen, both of Detroit Lakes. Police say the victims were airlifted to a Fargo hospital, but there's no word on their conditions. The driver, 69-year-old Earl Johnson, also is from Detroit Lakes. So far, it's not known if any charges will be filed.
Out of respect for the victims of yesterday's school shooting at a high school in Parkland, Florida, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum directed that all government agencies fly the United States and North Dakota flags at half-staff until sunset on February 19th. Burgum encourages North Dakotans to do the same at their homes and businesses.
Local students are putting on a musical that should have you laughing out loud. Opening night is next week for the musical Xanadu Jr. at West Fargo's Liberty Middle School. Xanadu follows the story of a Greek goddess who descends from Mount Olympus to inspire an artist to achieve the greatest artistic creation of all time. And chaos breaks out after she falls in love with a mortal. Tickets are on sale at Liberty Middle School, or they can be purchased at the door 1 hour prior to showtime.
That looks like a good one.
I think so.
There's a new face associated with revitalizing downtown Moorhead. Find out who he is later on Valley News Live at 10.
Coming up next, details on what led to a stabbing last night in Moorhead.